Usually, when someone tunes into a world champion's Twitch stream, it's to see them do something crazy.
Connector. Got him.
To watch and learn as these digital gods provide a routine demonstration of why they're the best.
잡았죠? 이것도 잡았죠?
To sit back, mouth agape, and revel in the glory of some borderline illegal dumpstering.
What? The way these guys play is like, it's like they turned off their head.
However, when it comes to the one and only king of Siege, nobody's really interested in watching him pull off insane shit. They don't want to watch him rule. They want to watch him rage.
There's another one? What the fuck are you doing? God fucking damn it, man! We lose to the worst players! Like, these guys are so fucking bad!
Since winning the inaugural Invitational back in 2017, King George Casa has managed to leverage an early retirement into arguably the most successful streaming career in Siege. But the thing is, people don't so much show up to behold his skill, as much as they do his salt.
Did I trade at least? How on earth? How on earth? You're in the animation of climbing a fucking ladder and you're so laggy that you kill me anyway. Look! What is this kill cam?
So how is it that a world-class competitor started cashing in on being the most recognizable rager in Siege? And in some bizarre way, are his red-faced antics actually good for the game?
Surprise, bitch!
Okay, so before King George was something of a Twitch celebrity, he was a pro player. A pretty good one, in fact. He was among the first wave of players to join the North American Pro League, and by 2017, had earned a spot on Continuum, where he played alongside Mr. I'm old as shit and using the ump himself, Canadian.
Why am I so much fucking better than you? God damn!
Now you probably know George as this angry, irritable curmudgeon who's usually on the butt end of a joke. But back in the day, he was nothing to laugh at.
He's going to choose that connector window. King George is going to pop on out, go for the shots, and he gets him down because he heard the rappel happening. A very good set of ears on that man. Young's going to be inside of the bathroom as Panico has gotten himself into the B office. But from above, another kill from King George.
George, as a player, he's actually a very smart player. That was like the main reason we picked him up. We felt like he had a really good understanding of the game, and he like was good at finding like cheeky things like Valcam spots. Like it was a different meta of the game at the time where like you would abuse stuff like a good outside Valcam. So George had a good mind for the game in that sense, I'd say, for sure.
I actually loved teaming with Troy because we were both on the same page where we were gonna like tear apart every map, try to come up with new stuff, watch all the other teams' VODs, like be very analytical about like every single thing and tactical about every decision we're making, and that's what set us apart from everybody else.
And it was thanks in large part to George and Canadian's theory crafting that they were able to raise the hammer at the first ever Invitational in 2017.
They have the diffuser locked inside the A site. They know they've got to come for it. Snake will push his way in. Is it tucked in the corner? 10 seconds to go. Comes on around. Loses the fight to Canadian. 1 to go. It's Avian alone. And he drops down. Continuum are your world champions.
From that point on, Siege really started to grow, and with Continuum looking to adopt a more aggressive playstyle, it wasn't long before His Royal Highness found himself sitting on a bench instead of a throne. George ended up moving on from Continuum to a roster that would eventually become Rogue, where he continued to put his competitive drive on display.
That's not real. That's.
Oh wow, he actually locked in the T'Chaka. Ladies and gentlemen, it's happened. We do have a T'Chaka being played for the first round of this consulate map. It is going to be old King George. I mean, even in that infamy loss, he dropped I think dropped the most frags of anyone. And here you can see Redeemer gonna drop down and be eliminated by King George. The rat-a-tat-tat comes out. Old Georgie getting that T'Chaka turret kill.
Just
Excellent job there by King George.
But it was during this period of his career that George found himself being drawn to the one thing that even the most self-respecting of world champions can't resist: content creation. On top of producing helpful guides for serious players, George gave his followers pure entertainment.
Tap D and then hold on the trigger. Hold it down! Press D and hold it down!
And the chance to see a world-class player shitting on matchmaking simps.
Where is he?
He's like way out in Hereford base.
Oh! Get shit on! What?
In time, George became more and more committed to his streaming audience, which created conflict with his professional career. And despite his best efforts to juggle both full-time, life began to throw more at George than he could handle.
Just before the Gamescom LAN finals, I found out that my grandfather, who has had dementia for 7 or 8 years now, was going to be passing away in a few months. And obviously this was like really hard on me. It was someone that I was extremely close to my entire life. I mean, I'm like even named after him and stuff like that. So definitely was someone that I was like really close with. And it just like, I don't know. It stressed me out a lot, and it caused me to like not sleep very well. Just seeing him like that, like in the hospital, and my grandma. I won't get too much into that, but I'm sure most people can understand.
And when that happened, it was like a decision I had to make. Like, I'm not sleeping, I'm not playing well on stream, I'm not playing well like in general. I was thinking about just taking a break, and I took a break and I was like, I slept 8 hours last night. Like, that was crazy. And then I was just like, you know, I'm not really in the mood to do this anymore. I could make my own schedule when I stream, like live my own life, have more like options and stuff. And I feel like streaming long term is probably a better option.
Fully committing to streaming checked 2 boxes for George. It offered him the competitive outlet he enjoyed, but it also gave him the freedom to play however he wanted. And he ran with it.
I think I can make it, dude. I just hot shots with... I can do it.
Lol. There's a rook in there. Another rook.
Oh boy! Another one,
Right.
Oh yeah!
Okay. Thank you for lining up today.
Nice.
Before long, George's stream blew up, which wasn't surprising. After all, he was a former world champion who still clearly loved the game that he made his name in. But at some point, it became apparent that there was another reason why the Siege community was showing up in spades to watch George while away the hours in Ranked.
I don't know, I think some people come for the gameplay, some people come for the reactions. Like, if I die, I always like pretty much get mad.
You got 3 outside.
Motherfucker, dude!
All your cams are dead.
What? What? What the fuck? There's another one! Just fucking right there! Why? What are you doing?
Now, anyone who's ever played Siege knows that for a very long time, it was a hot fucking mess, riddled with game-breaking bullshit. So, when you threw a fun-sized Greek man with Titanic rage into that equation, the result could only be pure, unadulterated hilarity.
Are you fucking kidding me? Fix your fucking game, Ubisoft! My god, dude!
He's funny when he's mad. It is what it is. I can tell you, like, every pro player out there, like, they like playing against George because they like to see his reaction. Like, it's so funny.
There's even like little videos where like the people you play with, it's just like a highlight video of just them TKing him and just him screaming.
Oh, hey, get away! Get away! Why?
I mean, he rages a lot.
You try to peek.
Oh, I killed myself! What? What just happened, dude?
Where you came out from.
What just happened? What just happened?
The thing is, it didn't even have to be completely broken for George to start mauling over it. It could be anything, from annoying operators...
I didn't know, I just barely looked up.
This This guy just hit fired. I hate Blitz, dude. I hate him. I fucking hate this operator. Ubisoft, what the fuck is this operator?
To the current state of ranked.
Yesterday, spent all fucking day on Brazilian servers with 150 fucking ping. Having Brazilians on NA servers all fucking day. Ping fucking the shit out of me.
Or just Comcast in general.
Fuck you, Comcast. You fucking bunch of shitters.
So what is it specifically that makes it so funny to watch King George get all hot and bothered? Well, we wanted the definitive answer, so we went out into the Siege community and asked.
King George got 10,000 plus hours in this game. This guy shouldn't be getting mad at anything, yet he still does, as if he's getting killed by something for the first time ever.
But this guy's on top of the... Oh, this fucking nerd. He's on top of the vents.
He rages like a manlet. It's great.
I think it's just a combination of him getting mad with his voice. Because he almost becomes kind of squeaky when he goes mad. Like, what are you doing? Like, it's so tiny and it's so hilarious.
And over the years, George's distinct brand of rage has become so iconic to the community that it's even inspired some exceptional imitation.
And then when you get mad at things, you have to do this. You have to do 2 reactions. You have to go, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Or you do this, you go, what is he doing? What is he doing?
What is he fucking doing there?
What is he doing? Oh my god, man, why are you there?
One barrel behind.
He has like 30 health, dude!
But here's the thing. George isn't stupid. He's pretty self-aware. At some point, he really started to lean into this persona.
Salt is funny. I mean, he's not the first Twitch streamer to kind of ride off the Salt train. I think everyone has those kinds of realizations. It's like when something happens and people are like, hey, people are enjoying this. So, you know, you start like when you feel like, oh, you have the chance to do that again, you're going to take it, obviously.
Now, with that being said, George isn't your typical rage-lording little shitstain. While he can be over the top, George has always tried to direct his outbursts at issues with the game.
One thing I have to say, I'm never like, to people that are on my team, it's normally like about the situation, like when I die, I'm like mad. I won't, if there's a teammate on my team, I'm never gonna be team killing them or talking trash about them. I'm gonna give them calls and do my best to win the game, even if they're doing poorly. At the end of the day, it's not your job to be like ruining someone else's time.
I'm sure that if you talk to King George 15 minutes after one of his outbursts, he would probably say that he regrets acting that way, but in the moment, it's so real, and every player feels like that. It's just that not every player acts that way, and it's actually refreshing to watch somebody who just lets it all out and displays the way that we all feel playing the game sometimes.
And that authenticity is a major reason for George's success. There isn't a Siege player alive who hasn't at some point identified with the man on a spiritual level. There are very few Siege heads who've spent as much time as George has soldiering through the trenches of Ranked. And the result is that he's become a reliable litmus test for what is and isn't broken. And these are not the ramblings of some mad court jester. These are the musings of Siege royalty. And when the king speaks, people listen.
You can't accuse him of not knowing the game. If I came out and I made something, you know, I have the I'm a pro league caster cover, but then people can turn around and be like, oh, well, you know, you're only like a plat in the game. You're only a gold, you're only a silver, you're only a bronze, you're only a copper, etc. Whereas with him, his record in the game is unimpeachable. So when you have the skill to back up your thoughts and that level of a platform, whether the devs are seeing what he has to say or not, it will eventually trickle down through the thousands of people that follow him and watch his content. It will be talked about on Reddit. It will be talked about on Twitch. And whether it, you know, creates this level of groupthink that eventually reaches back to the devs, I don't know. But somebody with his reach is able to set a conversation in motion based on his own thoughts.
As squeaky and seething as it is, King George actually possesses one of the most honest, entertaining,
how high is my forehead?
And influential voices in Siege. And as ridiculous as he might appear, it's important to remember that George and his outspoken nature have done a hell of a lot more to help Siege than to harm it.
Oh, I headshotted him!
Sean won.
What the fuck was that, dude?
Goddamn cheated.
You're welcome,
Also, I have to use the bathroom if that's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Cool, okay, I just had to add my Steam guard back. Should I take this off?
I would prefer, yeah.
Yeah, I would prefer you not to hear me peeing. It's very high def. Dude. Got water in my pants. Yeah, I didn't pee on my pocket. I don't think you know how. Magic urine. Just like comes back to me like a magnet. What's going on?